What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Cutman Podcast with your boy Austin Cardish. Man, is this episode going to be filled with a lot of UFC, and rightfully so, because the UFC White House card is finally here. And hey, we've been waiting months and months and months for this card to finally get here, and it's here. And hey, we're gonna enjoy this card come this weekend, and as well as a couple other things, including the NBA Finals, Game 5, right? Yeah, Game 5. Listen, games 1 through 4 have been insane, and you got the Knicks up 3-1. So we'll get into that, as well as some other stuff, including Brendan Sorsby ruled eligible by a judge to play football. And there's some questions to this. There's some real questions and some backlash to the judge ruling him eligible. So we will get into that as well as a few other things. But let's get into it because I'm excited about this episode. Like I said, UFC card is here. And man, did they not go over the top with this card, man. And not only this card, the layout, like, you got it right in front of the White House. So the White House is basically a backdrop, which is insane. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure fighters, for their entrances, come down out of the White House, down the steps. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And this is one of the things that is once in a lifetime opportunities to get to witness. And it's so crazy that people have actually tried to file lawsuits to get this card shut down because it's something about government property and everything in between. But hey, judge overruled that, said nah, it's not happening. I'm assuming he's a UFC fan like most of us, you know. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that ruling. Now, politics aside, man, this card, us UFC fans deserve this card, man. Like, we've waited so long and been so excited about it, and now it's here. And some heavy hitters are here, including Ilia Topuria making his comeback against Justin Gaethje. Now, listen, I understand Gaethje's a dog and all, but Ilia's got some stuff like outside of the octagon going on, and he's like a cage animal ready to be unleashed. And I'm sorry, Justin, but I don't see Justin winning this fight. I see Ilia coming out and just being hungry and just, honestly, if I had to guess, probably a knockout and somewhere around like 3. That's probably my guess. Rounds 2 or 3 is what I was thinking for a knockout. Now, like I said, Justin's a dog and all, but there's something going on with Ilia, man. He's got some personal issues he's wanting to let out, and he's hungry, and he's going to do it. There's no way he comes out and loses this fight, in my opinion. Now, y'all Justin fans, I'm sure y'all going to ride with your dog, but hey, this is a fight he probably should find something to cancel because Ilia's he's gonna touch his chin. I promise you that. But regardless, Justin, he's still a dog, like I mentioned. He's still gonna probably put up a decent little fight, but I don't see it being good enough, honestly. So I got Ilia winning that, and that's a title fight for the light heavyweight. So hey, Ilia's probably gonna go up and win that title in front of the White House fans, and hey, you know, as expected, in my opinion, you know. But yeah, there's just card or fight after fight is insane on this. So that was the main event, right? Then you go down to the co-main event, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gain for a heavyweight championship. This is gonna be insane, and I'm pretty sure this is Alex Pereira's third division that he's fought in, and probably gonna be his third division that he's brought a title in. Now, Gain's a dog as well, but hey, Pereira is different, and he's going up in front of everybody. He's been getting a little disrespected here recently by a certain somebody that we'll talk about, who's also on this card. So I'm sure he's ticked off, and he's probably ready to come out there and hey, bring another title home and go from there. Now his next fight could be interesting based off what I just said with the person who's like talking his shit, but we'll see how that goes. I know Tom Aspinall was supposed to fight Gain, and They started it round 1 and got the eye poke. He's been dealing with that ever since. I'm not going to speak on that right now because, I don't know any details on it. But, yeah, like I said, Gain's still a dog. So, obviously, in a heavyweight division especially, you can lay one shot and knock someone out. So, he can knock Pereira out. Let's not like over-exaggerate Pereira and say he can't be knocked out because he has been. I mean, what was it, like 3 fights he's lost in the UFC? So obviously he's beatable, but I don't think on this stage he's going to be beatable. And he's hungry. And we'll see if he wins this fight, where he goes. Maybe he wants to fight like someone like John Jones. Like, there's rumors there, but John Jones is trying to leave the UFC, it seems. So who knows what this fight will bring afterwards, but I'm going to enjoy it. Especially for 5 rounds of Alex Pereira. Now, if I had to guess, I could see, honestly, this is one of those fights you would expect a knockout, but I could see that going to decision for Pereira. But just truthfully, I see like a round 4 finish. Round 4, I think Gain's got enough in him to last till round 4, but don't be surprised if it's an earlier fight. Pereira's just that good. And he just lines them up and lays them down as they come. So, pause. And then the next fight is Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. Now, I don't know much about Zahabi, but that's one of them names. It sounds like he could be a problem. Now, the problem with Sugar, man, like, I'm a big Sugar fan, and I think he's gonna win this fight regardless. But the thing is, how's the stuff outside of the octagon coming along? Like, is he actually focused and like on point, or is he gonna come in and it's gonna be one of them fights where he's like struggles and might barely get a win? Like, we gotta see. I know he's launching his new water stuff, like flavored water or whatever, and he's also gaming and everything else. So we'll see. I'm sure he's gonna be ready for it, but hey, there's some questions. So hopefully he's on his game and he's sharp, because anything can happen in the UFC, obviously. And then, like I mentioned, the guy that was talking shit about Alex Pereira, Josh Hokit. He's been talking. I mean, talking for weeks. And every time he sees Pereira, he's just talking. Talking about his mom, talking about this and that, calling him a pussy and all of this. But the thing is, he's fighting Derek Lewis. Now listen, Derek Lewis can knock some people out. And he's went to in front of Donald Trump, who Donald Trump wanted on the card. So, hey, Hokit's better lock into Lewis. Now, here's the thing. Regardless of all the stuff that's been said and all the things that's going on with Hokit, with Pereira and everything else, I think he's going to probably be a little too quick for Derek Lewis. Now, Derek Lewis is a little older. He's still got some power, but, hey, he's slower. Obviously, that comes with age. So, and then Hokit, he's undefeated. So, I would be really surprised if he loses to Derek Lewis. But Derek, hey, he does have more to prove, especially after losing his last fight. So, we'll see how that goes. And, hey, maybe Derek Lewis does win for Trump and everybody else and then shuts Hokit up. But I doubt it. But, hey, you can't, regardless of what he's saying, regardless how you feel about him, Hokit's like, he's doing his job. He's selling his fight. And props to him for that. We've seen a lot worse, trust me. We've seen a lot worse. But then you move on to Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. Hey, listen. Now, I know how patriotic Michael Chandler is and how much he's probably wanting this win. But I'm leaning towards Ruffy on this one. I'm not going to lie. Because Chandler, he's a little older as well. Now, that's not going to take much from him because he's just a warrior. He's going to go out there. He's probably going to bleed, if I had to guess. Because that's just how he is. He's always going to try and stay in the fight. And, man, he's got some good wrestling too. So, Ruffy's got to be on his game for that. But this is a fighter who's younger, and he's looking to continue to prove himself in the in the industry. So I'm leaning towards him over Chandler personally, but I would not be surprised if Chandler won as well. Like I said, anything can happen in UFC. So, and he's also a big Trump fan, I believe. So, I would be highly surprised if Chandler doesn't come out there and at least put up a really good fight, you know. So, but then you got Bo Nickel, who's seems to be one of Trump's favorite fighters. Like every time Bo Nickel fights, it seems like Donald Trump's there and supporting him. And like I said, regardless of how you feel about politics or Trump, hey, us UFC fans are still going to watch this and not give a damn about that. And the thing is with Nickel, he's a wrestler. He's got one loss on his belt, which, hey, I'm sure he's still mad about. And I'm sure he's going to come out here and be just as sharp as he has been in previous fights. And even though he's fighting someone who I really don't understand or know, in Kyle Dacus with a 17-4 career record, I would be highly surprised if he loses this fight because he's just that great of a wrestler, and he's going to continue to be better. So, Bo Nickel, man, he's going to be crazy. And then you move on to Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Garcia is 19-5, and I don't know much about him, but Lopez, he's looking to prove himself too, and he has in the last few fights. He's a warrior. He's probably going to get into a just all-out slugfest. So that should be an exciting fight. And like I said, there's no bad fights on this card. Like, it's just that insane. So we're talking what? Let's see here. The seventh fight? The seventh best fight on this card? And it could be fight of the night. You know, you never know. That's how crazy this card is, and that's why we're excited about it. So we'll see who wins that one. I'm leaning Lopez, not just because of the name, just because of the game he's playing. Like how he comes out and he fights and how he stays in fights. He just doesn't go out there and just lay down and let somebody beat him up. So we'll see. But yeah, just speaking of Hokit too, I would not be surprised if he's Pereira's next fight. Now here's the thing though. I've heard or seen rumors, and Pereira's actually said it, that Hokit's probably going to get released from the UFC. Now I don't see that happening because he's trying to sell fights, and there's been way worse than that. I'm telling you, there's been way worse promos than the ones he's cutting right now. So you can't be mad at him for trying to sell the fight when he's going out there and he's getting the job done. So yeah, especially against someone like Derek Lewis, if he gets the job done, you cannot release this dude, man, because people will be biting at the bit to get him. So we'll see what happens after their fights. I assume they're going to win both fights and then maybe set up a fight where, hey, I would be really shocked if Pereira doesn't go in there and sleep him, because that's how much shit he's talked, man. But we'll see. We'll see what later down the line comes to be. And hey, if they go out there and they win their fights, maybe they make a little something happen with Conor's card. Now, assuming that Conor and them stay on this card, the card that they're on July 11th, and assuming that Pereira and Hokit don't get like too injured, you know. Now here's the problem. I think there's like a 3-month period where you gotta wait, but I'm pretty sure Derek Lewis just fought last month, so we'll see. We'll see how all that pans out and goes. But hey, this UFC card is gonna be stacked, man. And I'm just ready for it. I'm gonna be ready probably tomorrow morning. I might wake up and start getting ready for it. I got some snacks. In advance, I gotta get a couple Red Bulls, of course. Everybody's gotta have a couple Red Bulls when you're watching something like this. But yeah, man, UFC. I know I have some people on the pod that say they enjoy UFC. So hey, give me y'all's opinions. Who do y'all think's gonna win this? I'm gonna try and get this episode out right before probably Friday night. That way we don't have to have it Saturday when you have to watch it, and you can let me know who you predict going to win these fights. So with that, let's move on to some more sports. And the Knicks and Spurs. Man, is this a series. And Knicks right now are up 3-1. And honestly, it could have easily been Spurs 3-1. That's how crazy it's been. Now, 2 plays, a shot and it's a wacky play, but 2 plays have really helped the Knicks take a 3-1 lead over the Spurs and not allowed the Spurs to go 3-1. Now, the first one was Wemby missing the final second shot, game 2, I believe. Man, for a player of his caliber to miss that, I assume it's going to only make him better in the long run. But, hey, man, if you're wanting to be one of the dogs in this league, you got to hit them shots. And it's going to be talked about on your career. Like, if you're ever up there with the legends and maybe even the GOAT tier, I don't know. Now, do I think he'll get up that far? It's too early to tell, in my opinion. But, I mean, anything's possible. Now, here's the thing, like I said. He missed the shot, the final. So, okay, let's rewind. So, Wemby missed the final shot of Game 2. Then, you have De'Aaron Fox. Makes a boneheaded play. Gets the ball with 13 seconds to go. They're up, like, I think 2 points. Or no. How does that play out? I think they're up 1. And regardless of how many they were up, he goes, and then instead of running the clock out, which it would have honestly been a foul, they would have fouled him real quick, sent him to the line, and they would have had a shot at the tying the game with a 3. So let's get that out of the way, all right? Just because he didn't dribble the ball out didn't mean they were just automatically going to win if he did. But anyway, regardless, he ends up trying to go for a layup, and OG Anunoby comes out like of nowhere and just blocks it. Now, say what you want. Say if it was a foul, if it wasn't a foul, it doesn't really matter anymore. You know, it happened. It was called a certain way, and the Knicks ended up taking the game. But those 2 plays really decided the series so far. You got the Knicks, like I said, up 3-1, and, hey, the crowd's behind them and excited, and they're wanting them to win it all. The problem is they haven't won in 53 years. I believe it was. I believe that's the time frame I heard. But hey, let's give some credit though to OG, man. OG Anunoby. Here's the thing: is he? Got some roosters, but no. Is OG Anunoby giving Jalen Brunson a run for MVP for the finals? Because I think he is. Like, do I think Brunson's the front runner? Of course. But, hey, the way he's been clutched down the line, it's kind of hard to argue that OG hasn't earned at least a shot at becoming the finals MVP. But, yeah. We'll see what happens, man. And we'll see if the Spurs can bounce back. I'm personally assuming that they're going to probably win the next 2, potentially, and then set up a Game 7, I believe. What would that be? Yeah, Game 7 opportunity, which would make the series even better. And regardless if the Knicks are up 3-1 or not, this has still been a really good series in my opinion. Like, the problem is with the Spurs, though. Like, they start out strong, like really strong, and they get this momentum, and it just seems like they play like they already got it in the bag. Like they're playing down to the Knicks, and that's what hurts them, because the Knicks end up rallying and somehow finishing it off. So, hey, man, I'm excited to see where this series goes further. Like I said, I assume the Spurs take the next 2 and set up a Game 7. But who knows? Maybe Brunson just goes crazy and finishes it off. I'm not going to be mad regardless who wins a ring. Whether it's Wemby, whether it's Brunson. Now, I know some of y'all hate Wemby right now based off his antics in each game with what y'all deem like dirty and that. Now, that's arguable. But, hey, regardless, he's just trying to get in y'all's heads. Or not y'all's heads, but these players' heads and try and change the outcome of the game. So, hate him, love him, it doesn't really matter. 2 dogs are going to get a ring. One of the 2 dogs, I should say. So, and hey, if Brunson gets it after his time in Dallas when he was traded and all that, So be it. Deserved, man. Now, Knicks fans, man, y'all gotta chill out. Y'all gotta chill out. Like throwing eggs at Wemby and fighting all these Spurs fans. Y'all, I get y'all are passionate and y'all really getting into the game, but damn, chill out, bro. Like y'all gotta save some of the city. You can't be throwing everything around. And yeah, man, just crazy series. Just everything's crazy. Press conferences, fans going wild. The games themselves. Even some comments that I won't talk about from Charles Barkley regarding Cardi B. But yeah, crazy series, and I'm enjoying it. That's on tomorrow too. So, or not tomorrow, this weekend. So we're gonna really enjoy this weekend and get to watch a lot of good stuff. Yeah, and with that, we're just gonna get on to another topic, man. Another sports topic, and it's involving former Bearcat Brendan Sorsby. Now listen, man. I don't know how it happened, but the judge ends up ruling that Brendan Sorsby's eligible to play in this coming college season. Now the problem is he's suspended 2 games, first 2. But hey, there's a lot of backlash and probably created a lot more problems than people thought it would, because now big schools like Georgia and Big Ten teams, they're all like talking and discussing like boycotting Texas Tech and not scheduling them on any of their sports schedules, and that's a problem. That's a big problem, man. You just can't really do something like that and expect that there won't be consequences to follow. Now, some personnel from Texas Tech came out and voiced their opinions on the matter too, saying that there'd probably be like severe consequences for any teams that does that, and they'd probably file some kind of motion or something against those teams. So it's only going to create problems. But here's the thing, and this is something I want to know. Like, if you're a teammate of Brendan Sorsby, after he ends up betting on his own team, how do you trust him? Like, especially as a quarterback, how do you go into a locker room and trust that kind of guy? Like, you got worried, like, is this dude trying to sell the game? Is he trying to Paul Crew it? Like, I don't understand how you would, but I'm sure they're going to make their excuses. Oh, we trust him and this and that, yada, yada. But, of course you do. Because he probably gives you the best chance to win if he's, like, being legit. So, I don't know. But one thing I do know and expect is that there's probably going to be new rules coming out after this season regarding the whole athletes can bet and stuff. Now, it's crazy, but I just don't understand why you bet on your own team, 1. And 2, bet on your own sport, because it's risky as hell. Like, he almost lost his whole college season and had to go to, like, a supplemental draft in the NFL, and, who knows? Maybe somebody would have used a first-round pick on him, maybe not. But here's the thing, man. Like, when I was at Eastern Kentucky, and I was on a video coordinating team for football, I was scared to bet, man. Like, in the facilities, like, I wouldn't even bet. Because I was like, man, since I'm technically a part of the team, like, can I get in trouble for that? Like, that's, and like, just me being on like the video team, like, and thinking that, obviously you gotta be smarter, bro. Like, if I can think like that and wonder, you gotta be fucking smarter than that. So, I don't know, man. Some things are just, you can't understand. It's like common sense. You would believe it's common sense stuff, but of course, shit keeps happening. So, and I don't know, man. Like I said, it's gonna be. I would assume it's gonna be hard for people to actually truly trust him. Like, if I was in that locker room, I wouldn't be able to trust him. But of course, they're big schools. They're all getting money, so let shit slide, I guess. But yeah, man, let's just get off of that. Let's just get off of that topic and Stay on a little more football. Actually, our last sports topic, and it's going to be short, but Sean Payton ends up signing a new 5-year deal with the Denver Broncos. Now, here's the thing. I think it's smart because you got Sean Payton and how him and Bo Nix have been. Like, they're like a match made in heaven. Knicks looked really good under Sean Payton's team, and defense looking really good, and everything in between. You got there and you get him a couple weapons too, in Bo Nix with Jalen Waddle, and you got Cortland Sutton. Obviously, you got the run game with R.J. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. A couple other guys I'm sure are going to be thrown into the mix. Evan Ingram, who's a really underrated tight end in this league. So we'll see how that all pans out, but I assume they're going to have really good success together. And, hey, good for Sean Payton, man. Someone who wasn't coaching a couple years ago, he gets another opportunity, and he's making the best out of it. And that team's going to be special. Hey, like I've mentioned in previous episodes, that team probably was going to the Super Bowl if Knicks is playing in that AFC championship game. So, say what you want, but the Broncos, regardless of the single-digit wins, like close wins, I should say, regardless of all that, Broncos are a legit team and have a legit defense, legit offense, as long as everybody can stay healthy, of course. So, good for Sean Payton, man. We'll see what the Broncos do and everything in between. I guess these birds are Sean Payton fans. But, yeah, man. Good for them. Really good for them. Now, 5 years. 5 years is a long time to, be committed to something, but who knows? Maybe he plays this contract out. Maybe goes a couple, 3 or 4, and he decides that final year he wants to just hang it up. And he would deserve that because he's already got a bowl, and he's flirting with another one. So, yeah, with that, that's kind of going to wrap up the sports topics. And I'm going to get into a couple things, including Dutton Ranch. Now, last week I skipped it to talk about it this week, and I'm glad I did because this show is so crazy, and that's in a good way. Dutton Ranch it's flirting with the idea that it's better than Yellowstone. Now, it's got a lot of cast members that people might not know, but hey, it's starting to get really crazy. Like, it's already, every episode's good, don't get me wrong, but it's starting to really get crazy. And they're setting up this season, and probably the season finale, how shows just work. But they're setting it up to where there's going to be like a Yellowstone type of war, I should say, or blowback, somewhere in there. And it's going to be really good, I'm telling you. And the only thing that sucks about Dutton Ranch, man, is the fact that there's only a few episodes left. I believe there's only 10 episodes this season, and then they go to the next season. So that sucks, and I wish that they had more episodes this season, because it's keeping me glued to the TV, and I'm sure it is with everybody else as well. So, how do y'all feel about Dutton Ranch? And I don't want to give out no spoilers, so I'm not going to mention anything in detail, but hey, let me know. Do y'all think it's going to be a crazy season finale and all that here in a few episodes? Because the build-up's starting to become crazy, and a couple of the villains kind of return. So we'll see. But yeah, with that, we're going to get on to one of our last subjects. And here's the thing. I seen this video. We're going to roll this up for the last few. Just kind of drown out the birds because he's talking his talk. But no, I seen this on the internet the other day, and it's something stupid. All right, so I seen this officer ends up getting fired, and the article read, "Officer gets fired for shooting fellow officer." I had to read into that, and I had to go and look up the video and everything else. And this is a crazy situation because I guess they were horseplaying. So one of the cops pulls up in his cruiser, and the other cop's standing there with a third cop. And he ends up pulling his gun out of his holster and pointing out the cruiser. And then he holsters it, and the next thing you know, he gets shot in his arm. And I guess what it was when he did that, horseplaying and put his gun away, the other cop in the cruiser pulls his gun out and horseplays back. But as he's going to put it into his holster, it lets off a round through his windshield, shoots him in the arm, and then gets him fired. It's like, at what point, as cops, did you think it was all right to pull your gun out and flag somebody with it, let alone directly point it at somebody and play around with it? Like a gun, hey, if you get end it, you obviously can't come back, and that creates even more problems. Like it's really like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's the perfect saying, you know? So it's like, I don't understand it. Like, one, why'd you think it was alright to play with guns? Like in that situation. And then did you think it was alright to, do that in the police station as well? That's what's stupid about it. Like, you didn't think cops were going to come running over? Like, you thought you were going to get away with something like that? Like, now your career's done. That you worked your ass off for, that's done. Because you thought, hey, let's go horseplay with my buddy over here with guns that, could take somebody out. Like, God, man. Like common sense stuff. Like, I talked about it. Common sense stuff. Now, this is something like, it's a whole different story. Like, fuck, man. Like, I don't even own a gun. Like, I shot a gun a few times, but never in my life would I ever point a gun at somebody if I wasn't ready to use it. So, man, it's just common sense stuff in this world. Makes you really wonder if common sense is just optional at this point. Because you can't even defend it. Like, how do you defend that? How do you go to internal affairs and go, yeah, that's my bad. So what had happened was this. Like, no, bro. And it's on camera. I don't understand it. And what do y'all think? Is this one of them situations y'all think stupid too? Because I don't understand how you could defend it. But man, as if cops didn't have a bad rap already. Like, they already go through enough shit. And now you add this stupid shit to it. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's give a round of applause to them. And let's move on. It's some more cop stuff. But this is a little different. Alright. This is regarding a movie. So, rumors are swirling that 24 Jump Street is now in production. Or at least being, like, I don't know, created. And the thing is with 24 Jump Street, they skipped 23 Jump Street because it took too long. They said it took like over a decade to plan out and, kind of figure it out. So they just skipped it and went to 24, which I don't see how that even matters, Just change the title. But, yeah, so they skipped 23 Jump Street, go to 24 Jump Street, and they're trying to bring back all the original cast, like Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and Ice Cube. So obviously them, and there's obviously going to be like different characters and such throughout the movie that we've never seen in the other one too. So, but I'm just curious, how's that going to plan out? Because you already went to high school, you already went to college. Where else do you go? Like life, like actual cops. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but I enjoyed the first two movies, so I'm sure it's going to be really good, especially with those two who have a different type of, how would you describe that? A different type of comedy. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are actually underrated when it comes to comedy. So we'll see what happens and everything there. I'm sure they're going to try to make like a 25, 26, who knows. And just when I first heard about this, though, the thing I went back to is 22 Jump Street at the ending. With the ending credits, they kept making like 24 Jump Street, 25 Jump Street, 26 Jump Street, all these different situations. That's my first instinct. So we'll see what comes to be of that, and if they end up actually like making it and coming out and releasing a trailer, we'll get into that and talk about it. So I'm actually wanting that to happen. And like I said, first two I enjoyed. And we'll see. Maybe this one lives up to the franchise, the other two. But yeah, man. Skip 23 is crazy still. Like, just, you got the same story, right? Obviously, you're going to have 24 Jump Street. The same story. All you got to do is change a couple words, change the title to 23, and you're good. It's just not that hard, But who knows? Maybe they come out and they're like old characters. So, but yeah, that's going to really wrap it up for this episode. And man, like I said, this weekend's about to be insane. Like I said, UFC White House cards there. You got Game 5 NBA Finals. That's there. Now, I'm not a big hockey fan, so I haven't been watching any hockey. Now, everybody's hyping up the soccer and all of that, so I might catch USA's game and go from there. Who knows? I'm not a big soccer fan, and I can't tell you much about it except for, hey, kick ball in the goal and you score a point. That's really all I know. But, hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll watch a little bit and we'll talk about that. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. And regardless, go USA. Go USA. Beat the hell out of everybody else. But yeah, man, with that, I just want to say, hey, man, thank y'all for tuning into these episodes, man. Showing your support. We finally reached 30K, and it so happened to be on my birthday Tuesday. We reached 30K views. I know it's not necessarily a lot, but, like, I'm just grateful for everything, man. Like, rather my videos get 1 view or 100, I'm grateful. And that's the thing in life I want to be, is just continue to be humble and, try to grow this podcast, man. Obviously, I put timestamps in. That's helped the pod. And people who don't want to listen to certain topics, you can skip forward now. So, shout out to whoever recommended that. I still don't remember your name, but I'm sure you're going to like this episode because you did mention that you liked UFC. And yeah. Let me know, man. Give me y'all's predictions on the UFC cards. And let me know what you think about the NBA Finals. Do you think the Spurs are just basically over at 3-1? Like, obviously, only one team came back from 3-1 in the Finals. So we'll see if they can become the second team. But, hey, regardless, I'm there for the good game and all that, man. And hopefully everybody kind of chills out, and including the fans, and we'll see. But, yeah, with that, man, we're going to get out of here, and we're going to try to enjoy the weekend and everything that's going on, and try to get this episode out and clips as well, man. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, not only this episode but all the others as well. And like I said, the best way to support me for free is to subscribe to the channel and watch the videos. It's that simple. And if you want to leave a like. If you want to share it to some of your friends, do so. I appreciate all of it, I promise you. But yeah, man, with that, I'm going to get out of here, and I hope y'all have a good weekend. Hope y'all stay safe, and, watch some UFC. So, peace out.